2-5 Part 1, Determinants of Matrices. Here we have the matrix A. It is a square matrix, size n by n. The determinant of A is written as this symbol here with two vertical lines on either side of the capital A. Caution, this is not the absolute value of A. So make sure that you understand the context that you're working in. If you're working with matrices, these vertical lines ask you to find the determinant. Here we have the determinant of A written out. Note the difference in the matrix and the determinant of the matrix. The determinant has vertical lines, not brackets. Only square matrices possess determinants. The determinant of A is a number. We'll do a calculation that gives us a single answer. It has no elements. It's not a matrix. And we'll consider the determinants of only 2 by 2 and 3 by 3 matrices in this section. So first we're going to look at calculating the determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix. Here we have the two vertical lines telling us that we need to calculate the determinant of this 2 by 2. The process is as follows. You'll multiply along the diagonals 1 times 0 and 3 times -1/2. We'll subtract those products, so you can see here 1 times 0 minus 3 times -1/2. That will give us a solution of 3/2. Calculating the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix takes a few more steps. First, we're going to imagine crossing out the first row and the first column. We have a double-crossed element, which we'll take and multiply by the determinant of the remaining 2 by 2 matrix. You can see here that there's a 2 by 2 matrix in the bottom right-hand corner. The elements have not been crossed out. We calculate that determinant the same way we just did in the previous example, and this is what we have. We'll take the double-crossed -3, multiply it by 0 times 11 minus -3/4 times 180. Now we'll calculate that result and add that in to our steps here. Our next step is to cross out the first row and the second column. We'll take the double-crossed item and multiply it by the remaining determinant. See the elements that have not been crossed out? We'll do our diagonal multiplication, and this time we're going to subtract this result from the previous result as follows. So our first calculation yielded a -405. Now we'll subtract the 8, which was our double-crossed item, times the 2 times 11 minus the -3/4 times 4. We'll keep going. Finally, we'll cross out the first row and the last column. Just as before, we'll take the double-crossed element and multiply it by the remaining determinant. This time, we'll add this to the previous result. So let's look at what that looks like. The first calculation gave us a -405. The second calculation gave us a 200, and we subtract that from the -405. Now we're going to add our double-crossed item, 1/4, times our determinant, 2 times -180 minus 0 times 4. When we calculate this all out, we get a result of -515.